was non-intentional use. He didn't do anything on purpose. This metabolite stays forever.
What a picogram is. It's taking a grain of salt and chopping it into 48 million.
Hello and greetings, Picogram fam. We are back from no UFC this week, so it's international. Take a fucking week off, so we're gonna dive into some points and some current events that have been happening in the MMA world. Not a lot, so we're just gonna dive right in. We'll see how long this show lasts, lengthwise, but
we have no plan on time. We'll just talk about
our
points.
Yeah. We're going to see how it goes. We both made some current events and some talking points. We haven't shown each other, so we can have some natural reactions in a moment. And we probably both have seen all these points already because we follow MMA like that. But we will see where it goes and where it takes us. I will start with mine. My first one is a good note. Ben Askren, doing better. I seen a picture of him standing in the hospital. Dude had a fucking double lung transplant.
Insane. Glad he's doing better.
Dude, I mean, and shit costs $2 million, which I guess to save your life is, priceless, but that's insane. And I think the craziest part of all this is Jake Paul is putting up 500 fucking K to help pay for all this shit.
Yeah, I didn't know that. That's good. I know that they had donations up and they've been getting a lot of
After
good
the
donations.
Chavez fight. He even called out Dana for not doing something about it, which I guess we don't know if Dana did or don't, because I don't think he comes out and just says shit when he does shit like that. Because he's done shit like that before, I'm pretty sure.
They didn't have the best relationship beforehand anyway. Before he was even in UFC, they hated each other.
That is true. That prolonged Ben's entrance into the UFC for, almost a decade. We got him way after his prime. He still even came in and did some fun shit. Got one of the most iconic knockouts done to him of all time, which is unfortunate, but that's just the way it rolls sometimes.
I still like the Robbie Lawler fight. I like how he was able to come back.
That was a crazy fucking win. Ben Askren's the man. I'm glad to see him doing great. I hope he comes back to a full recovery and he's on a podcast talking about it and gives his side of the story, because that's crazy, man. He was in a coma for going on 3 weeks or some shit. Scary, bro.
Stuff.
It can happen to him. It can happen to fucking any one of us.
Just say, talking about Jake Paul, did you see what he said about the UFC? Because he'd done his boxing match the same day the UFC.
Mm-hmm.
He was, what?
I was going to say he fought Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.
Who got deported by ICE immediately after. So
I did see that too. That's a bit unfortunate, but
that's not a part of my notes, but that's what happened.
That's not, yeah.
I don't know too much about it, but apparently he has a warrant in Mexico for doing shit with the cartel. So
that's what I heard. So yeah, they'll get you. Yeah,
but
do that, I guess. Yeah.
What I was to say about Jake Paul though is that he was bragging that if you looked at the Google Analytics, that his fight had more Google searches than the UFC did on the same day. Said it was searched like a ridiculous amount more. And
you know why, right?
Yeah, well, Dylan Dennis is the one that said something that made it so goddamn funny, because Dylan Dennis is a professional hater.
Dildo dude, yeah.
He said, this is the only reason why you have more searches on Google is because everybody watched the UFC and searched for the results of your fight. And I didn't even think about that until Dylan Dennis said it, and it was so goddamn
I was
funny.
honestly going to say they probably didn't know where to fucking watch it either. It wasn't promoted very well. They probably had no idea where to even view this fucking thing, so they're probably Googling just what fucking platform to watch this shit on, because I have no idea where it's.
Yeah,
do you have any idea where it premiered? No.
But I don't watch boxing, so the only boxing organization I know is Danzon. Or DAZN.
Oh, DAZN or what? DAZN.
DAZN.
Yeah. Which Paul had to deal with them too. He was part owner of that by the time it phased out. So,
but yeah,
it's Jake Paul too.
I just thought it was funny. Dylan Dennis, professional hater, calling him out. Made a lot of sense.
That was a good one.
It was funny to me.
Yeah. That'd be maybe an interesting fight, MMA wise.
They've tried.
Just the ground.
That's why Dylan Dennis.
They were gonna fight at one point. I do
Yeah.
remember that, but I thought they were gonna box.
No, I think they were gonna do his first PFL fight.
Because it was before he was like the Jake Paul we know.
Yeah.
Before when he was gonna fight Dylan, he was not like the prolific knockout fucking artist he is now. But
When PFL first started, Jake Paul got signed by them to do MMA fights. So they were going. I think his first fight was supposed to be Dylan Dennis, but you know how that goes.
Dylan Dennis, professional pullout artist, honestly.
Oh, I think it both ways. I think both way. I think they both agreed on it on media, and then both of them backed out equally. I don't think Jake Paul wants to fight in MMA. He just wants to fight old MMA fighters in boxing.
Desi wants to fight Conor McGregor in MMA. Said on Rampage's podcast, like he was on 2 weeks ago, maybe.
Cool, get that shit going.
He's talking shit. I mean, I
don't
don't know
see
if
it
he'll actually
happening,
do
but
it.
I don't see it happening.
Fuck no. I don't see Conor McGregor ever fighting again either.
Well, I
either
mean,
way, to be honest.
That's one of my notes.
I know what you're gonna say.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead with yours next. That was my first one. Go ahead. Go with yours.
Well,
Switch subjects.
Connor, just transfer right into it. Connor calling out Chandler again for apparently a UFC card at the White House. What the fuck?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
What the fuck is right? And I'll tell you what the fuck. America is what the fuck.
Trump doing
That's the most American shit I've ever heard. Yeah.
Yeah, Trump doing a rally, which I found a little. I mean, I don't know who does. Does all presidents do rallies like that after they're elected?
Yeah, I mean most of them.
Okay,
Not the previous one, and we won't get into reasons of why that didn't happen. But
I mean, but I'm just saying, like, I don't know, like, I don't really keep up with it, so.
Supposed to, I would imagine. Yeah, make some appearances.
But he done
some babies and
done a rally like he was fucking
sniff some babies if you're the last one. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
trying to be elected, doing a rally like he's trying to be elected again, and just out of nowhere announces that he wants a UFC fight at the White House, in the White House lawn, 2026 apparently. Dana agreed to it.
That would be
already
cool.
talked about it. Said they're setting it up. Once a bunch of funny enough, a bunch of deadbeats come out of the woodwork. Conor McGregor calling out Chandler for this card, and then John Jones entering the testing pool. He was only retired for 13 days. He's already he got tested again because he said if they're going to do a fight there, he wants to be there. So
I bet he fucking does. I don't even know why they would put him in a testing pool. He's failed and still fought, so it don't fucking matter. I mean, I don't know what they're trying to do or prove or who he's trying to dangle a carrot in front of, but
fucking hope Dana White pulls a fast one over. He won't. I know he won't. Dana does not give a fuck about the UFC. Doesn't care about anything anymore.
Does not care. Except John Jones, apparently. He does
well, I was
care
just
about
say,
John Jones.
he's going to give John
He will let John Jones make a fool of him for fucking weeks on end to just, let it happen again. This is him looking stupid again.
If John Jones comes back, he should fight Tom Aspinall. That's the fight.
Only way.
And, like, they could even fucking, like, picture it as, like, a revolution fight, like we're liberating ourselves from the English again.
America from UK.
Like it would be a great fucking card. One of the most anticipated fights to ever happen. Like, it would be so fucking good, but it's not going to happen. I'm calling it here on the podcast. It's not going to happen.
We'll never.
He's going to fight somebody else if he does fight on the fucking White House card.
He's going to fight Alex Pereira. I would have to imagine. It's an easier fight, bigger name. It just would make sense, I guess, for John Jones. That'd be who I would want to fight. I would not want to fight Tom Aspinall.
That's what Pereira wants. Ain't Pereira supposed to fight Big Unk coming up again? Didn't he finally agree?
Rematch of that?
Yeah, I think he finally agreed. Big Unk's been waiting. He said
good.
Called him out 2 or 3 times, and nothing's really came out of it. But apparently, they've talked about him coming back. He wanted to take a break, which I give it him all. He could take this whole year off. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I mean
he does. I mean, Pereira had the
biggest star, so
most fights last year than anybody else.
Yeah, no doubt, and I mean probably the biggest pay-per-view seller, without a doubt. I mean, I don't know anybody else. You could try to say Sean O'Malley because they did the Spirit the spear with him. But I mean, that show kind of sold itself, and that card kind of sucked. Honestly, I mean, I was not a fan of the spear shit.
The only fight that I liked was the Diego Lopez fight.
Yeah, who did fight Ortega for the?
Which Ortega.
Was it Inter? Was it just number one spot or something? I can't remember.
I think it was number one.
Okay.
And then that was the first Sean O'Malley Morab, which we all know how that went.
We all know how that went, and went again. So happened twice, 2 times. That's just the way it is. It happened every time they fight. Sorry.
Yep.
All right, I'll move on to my next one. A lot of rumblings about Paddy Pimblett and Ilia Topuria being a possible fight, right?
I've heard it. I've heard it.
Paddy Pimblett's last 3 opponents are 0-13. 0-13. It's got Chandler, Ferguson, and Green. Ferguson was on an 8-fight losing streak. That was number 9 for Mr. Ferguson. No hate on that. Was a killer, still the man. But to get a title shot off those 3 wins is fucking insane, dude. But come in, you make enough waves, shake enough fucking beehives, you get shit your way sometimes. And Paddy, dude, marketable guy, funny, checks off all the boxes. If he was a UFC champion, you'd probably be looking at a motherfucking superstar. And Ilia Topuria, I mean, he's pretty big as is. I mean, in Europe, he's, definitely probably the biggest MMA star. I don't know if you've seen, like, the post of, like, it showed the YouTube numbers for Justin Gaethje and Max Holloway's knockout, which is one of the craziest fucking knockouts you'll ever see.
It was like 19 million, 9 months or something.
No, it's like it was 9 million at 9 months, and then like Topuria was at like 11 in 24 hours.
Yeah. Which,
and I mean,
I don't really get. I think the Gaethje and Max Holloway one was a little bit more rumbling,
Mm-hmm.
But maybe more people watched it live than rewatched it.
I will say, like, you can't beat the feeling that watching that Holloway and Gaethje fight gave you. Because, I mean, I remember that shit very clearly. It was like last minute, jump off the couch. What the fuck? It was insane.
When they were swinging at the fucking end.
Yeah.
Oh.
Max already won. Didn't have to do that. But stood with one of the fucking, like, hardest-headed motherfuckers that the UFC's got and just flatlined him. I mean, it was amazing. And then you got Ilia Topuria beating Charles Oliveira. That's, surpassed that in views by 2 million views.
And which we talked about in the last podcast was like, okay. Like.
Yeah.
We got a dude that's known for knocking people out and a dude that's been knocked out. Kind of like they just gave Topuria the belt for some reason.
Yeah, I mean, Charles is a formidable opponent. I mean, you got to respect Charles. You got to like Charles. He can still put people away. He's still, like, winning fights. But, yeah, that was a terrible fucking matchup for him. But, the more I think about it, the more, like, Topuria gets tagged, too. He got tagged by Charles. He got tagged with an elbow, like, 15 seconds into that fight. Like, one of the first exchanges they threw, Charles hit him flat with an elbow, like, right in the nose. Surprised he didn't bust his nose. Kind of shook him, and he came back, and he got his revenge on it. But, I mean, Topuria gets hit. Like, his style, kind of how he's all, like, hands, and he's kind of, like, keeps his hands at body height. Like, he leaves himself open for some fucking crunches, and he gets them sometimes. And he's a smaller guy. I know he says he walks around like 170, but, I mean, he's like 5'6", tops. And, I mean, Charles was fucking doing work to him at some points. He pushed him against the cage, and then he was, really just using his weight, because what you seen come next was Topuria using, like, just skill level to put Charles on the ground. And then he had fucking Charles Oliveira in a crucifix. Who puts Charles Oliveira in a fucking crucifix? Charles is dangerous off. He's one of the most dangerous guys we know off his back. Most submissions in UFC history. And fucking Topuria, smaller guy, got this dude spread out on the ground, just fucking bashing him. I mean, it's insane. So I mean, that fight was, it was high level. It was for the belt. Other than Arman Sarukian, I guess, but I don't know if he's in the best, standings with the UFC right now, or if he really deserves it. I guess. I mean, look, dude, he's got a loss to Gamrot, and I mean, is what it is. Losses don't define your fucking career in this, but it does kind of fuck up your trajectory sometimes. And I don't know. It just, I don't. I think Charles deserved it, and Charles wasn't a pushover. If that's kind of
I mean, I don't know. I just I don't think that was the fight for the. It shouldn't have been the fight for the belt. I think there's some people in line could have done. In
a perfect world, he should have fought fucking Islam Makhachev for it.
Yeah.
And he would have got beat, most likely. I mean, just to be completely honest, I don't know. Toporia's done some crazy shit, but like I said, he gets hit. And then Makhachev is a big dude. He is bigger than fucking Charles Oliveira. Charles Oliveira started his career at 145, too. And he went on a losing streak. And it wasn't until 155 where he kind of got to be the Charles we know now. But I think he got beat by Dan Hooker or something. He definitely got beat by Charles Felder at featherweight. No, he lost to Felder at lightweight, I think. But, I mean, he was losing at featherweight. So, I mean, he's not the biggest lightweight there is. And he looked huge against Topuria.
Oh.
I don't know.
I don't want to speak in circles from all the other shit, but like I said, I just don't like people coming up and getting immediate belt shots.
I know you're not a fan of that.
This fucking tarnishes everybody that's fought before,
Mm-hmm.
So everyone that's fighting
I'm not
every fucking week to be a lightweight champion, and then you just come up and take it away.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you're defending, like I said, I'm not a get with it either unless you defend it a bunch of times. If you defend it like 3-4 times, then yeah, let's do something different. If you're getting tired and getting burnt out and making that weight and just want a harder challenge, because if you're beating these motherfuckers, like if you got 5 wins in a row with that title, there's no one on your level. Like if you've not had challenges and shit, I get wanting to go up and challenge yourself and because these people got like killer instinct. They want to fucking challenge. Some of them anyway. I mean, some of them just want an easy paycheck, go out there and lay on motherfuckers and take a double paycheck home. But that's not all of them. I know what you're saying though, yeah. But I don't want to be a Topuria dick rider. If anybody deserves it right now, it would be Topuria. And I guess Islam deserves it too. I mean, I don't know how do you feel about Islam going up and fighting JDM right off the bat?
If JDM had a couple more fights as champ, then I wouldn't care. Because I don't like double champs, but I like the aspect of a champ fighting a champ. So it's so stupid. It's fucking
JDM very
thinking
very
like a woman right
champion.
there. But you know what I mean? Yeah, he just won the belt. He has no defenses, and he's going to fight one of the most dominant champions. It's like, yeah, just take his belt away from him now.
But he's bigger. He's way bigger. But I mean, Islam ain't a small 55er.
Yeah, he's not.
He's not. He's not exactly like super tall, but he is a thick son of a bitch. But we'll move on. What's your next point?
I think you got a couple things about Strickland. I think that's the only thing we talked about before.
Well, yeah, but I didn't put it in mine because that's when we. Yeah,
because we talked about it. Well,
yeah,
I didn't write it down, but I have other stuff about Strickland because I thought we were going to touch on.
We can go through the first part. I mean, yeah.
Well, let me go with mine, go ahead. And this will go into yours.
Okay.
I didn't really watch it fully, but I've been seeing a couple of clips of Dan Henderson on Mike Perry's podcast.
Mm-hmm.
You seen any of these clips?
No.
Well, apparently Sean Strickland started a good chunk of his career was in the Dan Henderson gym, Dan Henderson's gym, and he got kicked out for sparring too hard.
See that.
He said Dan Henderson, he has nothing against him and never had anything against him. It's just he had too many complaints from other people saying that he's going too hard, and they warned him, and he still got more complaints. So then they had to let him go.
He's a psycho. Yeah, dude's insane. I mean,
Yeah.
we've all seen videos of him sparring. He fucking will knock
Yeah, and,
motherfuckers out. He'll invite a dude off the street to come in and spar and just literally beat the ever-loving shit out of him. I mean, he's a ruthless guy. He don't care. He likes hurting people.
And
if I had to put it one way.
he was sparring with Patty like a week ago.
I seen that. Yeah. And he had a gun in his fucking trunks.
Patty,
Classic Sean. I mean, that's hilarious. I love it.
Yeah.
I mean, fuck it.
I love
Why
Sean.
not, dude?
I don't know. I like.
I do too. I mean,
characters, and
don't hate him, but I mean, like I said, he's a crazy son of a bitch. He's
Yeah.
like, I think he just likes hurting people. He says the craziest shit that comes to his mind. He hasn't always been that way, but you can tell once it started like taking off and he showed
think,
people
yeah.
had interest in it.
I think he tried to
or
come
he-
out as a wrestling term, a baby face. You know, he looked like a fucking
Yeah,
kind of looked like a model,
Well-
had the long hair, come out.
probably
you
won't get in
know.
trouble. UFC was a little more corporate, I guess. I don't know. Maybe not. I mean, the shit they let you get away with, dude. I mean, could we touch on Cedricus Dumas? You know who that is?
That's the ankle monitor guy.
That is ankle monitor guy. Yeah, just if you've listeners haven't heard this, you know what's funny is there's like a podcast, like podcast 2 or 3. I went on like an in-depth thing about it. Cedricus Dumas, dumbass, or whatever fuck his name is. I was like, man, this guy could be world champion. He's got like, he's athletic. He's got good fight IQ at times. I mean, he's a little bit on the skill he's lacking, but he's got something there. And then like 2 weeks later, this motherfucker's getting arrested for breaking in his girlfriend's house or some shit. And then he like ran from the cops and hid in a dog kennel, like a dog cage. So, I mean, not a good look. But it obviously does not matter because UFC will book you for a fight 2 months later. And they did that. And he could not fight because he has a fucking ankle monitor on his legs. So, I mean, I don't know if that proposes an unfair advantage or not, but that's just, probably against the dress code of the UFC. So it didn't happen. And
Fight with it on.
they don't give a fuck, dude.
He probably had a
mean,
curfew. Probably wasn't allowed
He
out.
may have had a curfew.
Yeah. So wait, it's gonna happen at fucking 1 o'clock in the morning. No. Maybe,
Him and
maybe.
Greg Hardy training at the penitentiary together. I don't know, dude. But it's not a good look. And it's insane. Like, why is he breaking into people's house? I think he was trying to rob them or something. I don't know, bro. I don't know. I don't remember the story. We won't get too far into that. I just want to touch on that and let you know that, like, it doesn't matter what the fuck you do. The UFC, they'll take you back. They're like a abused girlfriend or something. They don't care. They don't see the bad. They just see the money and just want you back. I don't remember what the fuck we were talking about. Who were
Broke
we talking
into
about
his
before this?
girlfriend's house apparently and battered his ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
But he
Not
was,
a good dude.
he was
I
caught
mean,
with
just-
drugs and a weapon, and
Caught
so he got a home invasion and battery, but his biggest charge is possession of a weapon, and because he's a convicted felon.
You don't say.
So the first two was like, oh, it's bad, but for some reason the government thinks him being a felon with a weapon is worse than breaking in somebody's house and beating the shit out of them.
Yeah, I don't know. Bad guy, just not a great dude. But yeah, we'll go back to Sean Strickland. Yeah, it don't really matter. I think you realize it don't matter how much shit you get in or how much controversy you cause. That they just use it in a fight promo. They really don't give a fuck, dude. Conor threw a damn dolly at a bus and shattered windows and got glass in people's eyes and got 3 fights canceled like a fucking retard. But it didn't matter. They used it in a fucking fight package promo. They don't care, dude. I mean, it's insane, but to each their own. If that's how you want to run your company, and spotlight people who act out and like do just just mean shit to people, like it ain't not cool. But whatever. These people like these UFC athletes, bro, I'm sure they're fucking like adrenaline tolerance and shit is like burnt, so they do crazy shit. Like Cowboy Cerrone, how he's got to jump out of a fucking airplane with no parachute or whatever the fuck he's doing nowadays. Like, other than steroids. Have you seen that motherfucker lately? He's got hair transplant and steroids. He's looking, he's like fucking movie star Cerrone now.
I'm not.
He's pretty beefy. But yeah. And I don't know if we even touched on what got us into the Sean Strickland shit. He was at like a lower promotion, and he was cornering a guy in a fight. And the guy he was not cornering was talking shit. He beat the guy they were coaching, and he turns to Sean, gives him the DX suck it, and
That wasn't just it.
fucking
After he
probably calling him names.
as he was choking out the dude, he was near Strickland, and then the second the dude tapped and he let go, he walked right up to Strickland in the corner and said that he was a pussy and that he needs to
said,
suck
I got
his
2
dick.
words for you.
Yeah, he said, suck my dick, you're a pussy, you're a bitch, and then backed up and did the DX suck it. Cause that, like,
Yeah, man.
This is what we were talking about the other day when we were talking about
Yeah,
doing this
we
podcast.
almost got into like a debate about this, but we were like, let's save it. But
I'm
I'm on the side of Rampage Jackson touched on it, and his exact words were, it made him look like a stupid dickhead. And I tend to agree on that
coming
side
from
of things.
Rampage, the fucking reporter.
Coming from
humper,
Rampage.
and
Yeah, you know that's not good.
the stupid dickhead.
But at least he knows not to, when you're on TV at an event, jump in and fucking cause, a big scene and violence and make it. Because the biggest thing of that, like with the Mayhem Miller and when he fought Jake Shields and the Diaz brothers jumped in the ring and on Strikeforce and that caused like a fucking riot and all that shit. Like, it doesn't make MMA look good, and it makes like people who don't watch it, they probably think that happens all the fucking time. And it doesn't. I mean, it never happens, honestly. It's happened 2 times that I can think of. Normally these people are,
I mean, Conor McGregor and
Conor and Khabib.
Khabib.
Yeah, there's 3.
there was a Russian organization that it happened in. So it does happen
So,
quite
I mean,
a bit.
That's still one hand. I mean, you count it on one hand in the fucking 20 to 30 years of MMA.
But I'm with
okay?
you, though. It shouldn't happen at all. But
Shouldn't happen at all. And I know you're like, that guy shouldn't be talking shit to Strong.
yeah, well, my thing about him is that he is an NYPD police officer. And my other thing is when you win, I think you should be humble. It's a sport where you fucking beat the shit out of people. Like, when you win,
True.
it could
I
go
get
either
you.
way. So I think you should be humble. And when you're calling out the other person's coach after a dominant win, and you fucking cry and upset because you get punched in the face at an MMA event, that's my thing about it. Is like, maybe you should condone yourself a little bit better after your fucking win. If you don't fucking want.
I get you, but he was
fighter to
excited.
Come in and punch you in the fucking face.
I get you.
And he's not the only one. Who's the there was another dude in Strickland's corner beside him.
Chris Curtis.
Yeah, who went up there and pinned the dude against the fucking wall. Had his fucking elbow into dude's fucking throat against the wall. But no one's talked about him. No one's brought him up, and he ain't the one that got called pussy. It was Sean Strickland.
I mean, yeah, he's just as to be blamed as Sean. It was not cool. Guy just fought. His adrenaline's going through the roof. They were probably talking shit to him. He probably didn't just do that out of nowhere. They were probably fucking picking at him too. And one of the most stressful moments of his life when he's fucking fighting for a paycheck and for his future. I think it's all fair play when you're in there, dude.
He is equally to blame as Strickland. That's my whole thing. I don't think any of it was good. I don't think any of it, but I think he's equally to blame.
Okay.
And for people to
you
just
can
putting
say-
all the blame on Strickland, to me, that's what I find fucked up about it. Because he's equally to blame.
Okay, equally to blame, but he didn't do anything wrong. Strickland did the shit wrong. He broke the rules. He's going to be the one suspended from that fucking fight commission.
I guess. I mean, yeah, but who cares?
I guess who cares? He's not going to, whatever state that was
Yeah.
in, he's probably
And
not
no-
going to fight there for
yeah.
the next 9 months.
No one's gonna fucking.
But I mean-
no one probably watches the organization in the
care.
first place. Yeah, like the only reason why we know
No, I
about
mean,
this
he
happening.
can't fight there. No, he can't fight there in the UFC. If they scheduled a card in that state,
I doubt they
and it's
would put his fight on that. You know what I mean? They would go around it.
they would,
They'd
dude.
say, "Let's go to the
They
next."
fucking suspended Nick Diaz for a lifetime for smoking weed, dude.
No, I'm saying.
And then they had to
I'm saying
revoke it.
They wouldn't say, "Oh, we're having a card at this place, and Strickland was just banned for it, so let's put Strickland on this
No.
card." They'll go to the next one.
No, that's not what I'm saying. Like, if he already had a fight planned, it would be canceled for doing that.
I mean,
dumb
I don't
shit.
think they would cancel it. I think they would move it to the next card, like they did with the fucking
Probably.
fucking herpes lip.
Still. Yeah, or they'd have to move it to another state or something. But I mean, again, yeah, he can't coach in that state. He can't fight in that state. He can't do nothing MMA related in that state until his suspension's up. So I mean, not that he cares or anyone gives a fuck, but I'm just saying, not a great. I mean, but it's Sean Strickland. I mean, what would you expect? Anything
What did
other
the
than Sean
UFC
Strickland?
do with the Conor and Khabib shit?
Nothing. Not shit.
I thought they got in trouble.
It's the commission, not UFC. The commission,
I know.
New York City
I
sued
understand.
them. They had to pay New York City money. The UFC turned around and said, "Who? Conor? Who?"
But I thought that the
They don't fucking
UFC
care.
banned the two guys that jumped the fence and punched Conor, and then they fucking done something to the Conor's
Yeah,
group.
the Tagir thing.
Yeah.
I think that was still commission based. I don't know if that had anything to do with the UFC. I don't think the UFC cares. It's like I said, to fight in the UFC, you have to be cleared by the commission in that state. So I mean, that's if the commission don't like you, you'll never fight there, and that's just the way it is.
Is that why they're
Like
doing
Bisping, he got lucky with all the ones he knew the ones to go to that wasn't going to catch him for his eye. So he didn't really chance. He didn't really fucking try to go to random countries and shit. Like he knew the ones that were going to let him fight. He knew Las Vegas was always going to let him
Is
fight.
that
So
why
he just
the
chose his
fucking
fights.
Duplessis and what the fuck's his name? Chiaev?
I got an adapter dying here. I can't fucking hear you.
Oh. Still good?
Hang on. Say something.
Hello.
Okay, we're back. Yeah, my fucking headphone adapter is shitting out on me, so I'm hearing you cut in and out. But
They're doing that fight in
Yeah.
Chicago. Duplessis' next fight.
Chimaev?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, and Chimaev's in the UFC. He's in the USA right now.
So you think that's why
So
they're
it's
doing
probably
it
gonna go.
in that in Chicago is because they know that place will that commission will let him fight.
Yeah,
They've been
probably.
having
I mean,
problems
and
in
it's
America.
shadier commissions. Yep. They wouldn't do it in New York.
I know.
New York's one of the worst there is, dude. Like they've ruined so many fights. They're the ones
Local
that stop the
pussies.
They're pussies, yeah. And well, they're also the newest to MMA. They didn't have legalized MMA until like 2019 or some shit. But
Yeah, they're probably like, well,
Yeah,
we're
they'll-
not getting this fucking tax cut or tax benefit from it.
something probably about money, or they're just fucking pussies, like you said. It's just it's fucking New York City. They're gonna bitch and complain
There's a
about every
whole
fucking thing.
Conspiracy about it. It was something. It's so dumb. I remember like watching some videos about it forever ago, where like when they first went there, it was like a food union that had something to do with against the UFC.
Yeah,
Because the
yeah. It was
Vegeta
like the same
brothers
people that ran.
owned,
Yeah.
it's a couple restaurants, and then they were against their like way that they paid people. So it was a food union that like
Mm-hmm.
had all the say if they could do a UFC there, and then they were fucking like.
Yep, and then it was somebody getting some kind of commission or
like,
mayor or
the governor
somebody
something
in the
like that was
fucking
getting money.
council getting paid off to not put them there. Finally got through that. Looked like total fucking paid off retards. So good for you, New York. I hope you're glad, but yeah, I hope you got your money. But anyway, finally got legalized there. One of the worst places to ever watch a fucking UFC. Always fuck it up. Always make the worst decisions possible. And what's bad is they always do their motherfucking end of the show there. They do the Madison Square Garden card at the end of the year every year.
And I only do that 'cause of
they
the
always-
fucking name. And it's just a normal
Yeah, and
goddamn
it's-
arena in a terrible fucking state.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, you can fit a lot of people in there, but still not. Who gives a fuck? It's New. There's a lot of people living there on top of each other like cockroaches anyway. So I mean,
Football
it's
stadium.
not to alienate my New York City fans. I'm sorry, but yeah, it's not hard to pack Madison Square Garden in fucking New York if you got something going on. So it is what it is. Whatever. But last year was Jones and Miocic. Like they always try to do something big, and it usually gets fucked up. One year it was the Nate Diaz, Masvidal, and Here's the New York commission in a fucking nutshell, right? They stopped the BMF title belt for a cut.
Yeah.
BMF title on the line, stopping for a cut.
When it Diaz, they got cut.
Yeah, and it was Nate Diaz, a guy who bleeds every time he fights. He's got scar tissue that looks like fucking paper up there. I mean, it's going to bleed. He is going to bleed. He says he bleeds fucking brushing his hair. He's gonna bleed. But yeah, they ruined that fight. So Masvidal got the BMF title over a disqualification. But don't worry, The Rock was there to put it on him.
Hell yeah.
Thank God. Hell yeah.
What everybody
Go Dwayne
wants.
Johnson.
Yeah. Inducted Mark Kerr into the fucking. I've done again.
What a fuck.
I don't
What a fucking tirade.
not
What
a-
a tirade.
fucking like I'm not deep into the UFC lore, but I don't know who the fuck Mark Kerr is. And I only heard about him from this fucking movie.
Who?
Mark Kerr. They're doing the fucking.
Oh, dude, you don't know. Oh no, he's a old school UFC guy.
I
Just
knew
one of
that.
the
But like,
I
know
one of the first heavyweight UFC
I know
champions.
Dan Severn. Tank Abbott. I know fucking.
Yep, Mark Kerr right up there.
Frank.
Uh,
Not Frank Mir. What's his name? Who went to the WWE? Frank Shamrock.
Yeah.
I know these names.
Yep.
Never heard Mark Kerr before.
Well, you should have. He's a UFC legend, just right up there. Mark Coleman, Dan Severn, like you said. His big downfall was he had like a pill addiction, ruined his life, fucked up his body, blah blah blah. Made it back. You'll see it in the movie. Came back. Never really came back to fighting or anything, but came back to like being able to walk and shit. I mean, he just had a rough life.
I don't know.
Beat himself up. Typical pro athlete
If he
story.
was, like, this so like important to UFC. Why wouldn't he need a fucking Hall of Fame before his fucking movie?
Because they're pieces of shit. Have we not just went on a tirade for fucking...
Well, you know what I mean though? Like I don't know. It's like they got the fucking.
yeah,
Rock
I get it.
played 'em, and now they're all fucking like Mark Kerr.
They forget, dude. People forget. UFC forgets. Nobody. They don't care, bro. They made their money off of him and they threw him in the trash. While they got Forrest Griffin still working at the fucking the institute, the Performance Institute, PI. Dude's got to work a full-time job. He made the UFC popular on TV. He made the people watch it on TV. And that guy works a full-time job. Maybe he wants to do it. Maybe he feels like he's giving back or something, or
Maybe he makes
feels
good
fulfilled
money.
from it.
Who knows?
Maybe it's good money, but he should be just making good money. He should have made good money. It's not. I don't know. We can touch on that all the time too. Of fucking not paid enough, but whatever. Keep fucking with this fucking. You there?
Yeah, I'm here. I was just one talking.
Okay. Sorry.
I was waiting.
Sorry, listeners. I'm fucking
point.
Discord. I got to get a new one before the next podcast. Where we're at? We're about halfway through the show. Over halfway. Let's do a breakdown of the next pay-per-view real quick. It's getting hard to hear you, so
Okay,
go
well,
ahead.
I got one more thing. Did you see the fucking
Okay, go ahead.
action figures that they released?
Terrible. Yeah, I seen the
They're
Max
so
Holloway
good.
and the fucking Alex Pereira one.
So goddamn fucking funny looking, dude. What the fuck, man?
They didn't try. You know what's sad is like they did so much detail. Like the tattoos look perfect, the proportions are perfect, but like when you get to their face, I don't know who the fuck did their faces, but it is awful.
Dude, what? Yeah, what the fuck? You got these like WWE action figures that look like fucking 3D printed models of the goddamn wrestler. Some wrestler that's fucking coming from NXT that no one's ever heard of. They got a fucking photorealistic
Yeah.
goddamn action figure of it, and then we get the UFC.
That's gonna sell nothing. Yeah, not your 3 kids are gonna buy. And you got this fucking statue that's probably $150. I don't know how much it would be. I didn't look into it, but it's probably over fucking priced. But doesn't look anything like them. You can tell who it is, like I said, from like the tattoos and the body shape and the fucking. Some of them are doing like signature moves, like Gaethje's doing like his signature like overhand, and Holloway, Sean. They got one of Sean O'Malley doing like his kick, like his front body kick. So I mean, you kind of know who they are just from essence, but the faces, dude. I mean, what the fuck are these things?
Hey, I didn't even see the show.
It looks
I
like
just looked them up.
somebody made them out of cake or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's funny though. They're not that expensive.
How much are they?
The Izzy one's $23. John O'Malley's $23. John
How much?
Jones, $30. DC,
$30?
$27. Patty Pimblett.
John Jones is more expensive than DC.
Yeah. Patty Pimblett, 30. The most expensive one is Connor for 40.
Who is it?
Connor.
Connor. I guess that makes sense.
He's a Russian Russian version for Khabib. It's 60.
That's a Russian version.
It's all the fucking text on it's in Russian.
Oh.
So it's sold in Russia. It's a Russian version.
Oh.
No, but on their
Well.
website, so that was just like looking at the sales thing. On their website, they're $60 a piece. So they're being resold for $20. If these are the same ones, I don't see the. These look like just statues. I don't see the.
Yeah, they're awful, dude.
I don't see the other ones. These are bad too, but I don't see the other ones. I don't see the Max Holloway or Alex Pereira one we were talking about. It's funny though.
Yeah, I don't get it. They had some cool action figures for a little while, like
Here's a
around the time John Jones and DC were like competitive. They had like Target action figures that were pretty cool. Honestly, looked like them. Came with like different heads and shit.
run. That's I think is what you're talking about. They look really good.
Yeah, 2020. That's about time. Yeah, they looked good, and they were like posable action figures.
Hey, this one's an actual Max Holloway one. It looks like Max Holloway.
Mm-hmm. The DC one even looked like DC. I mean, had a little chubby belly on it. Came with a little towel you can lean on. I've seen them. They look terrible. We'll move on to the next.
Let's talk about the next card. So I didn't interrupt you for.
Let's talk about this card. I got the sound's cutting in and out on me.
The next.
So if I ramble over you, I'm sorry.
Okay. So the next card is a fight night, which is Lewis and Teixeira.
Yeah. But which is I don't even think we'll go over it when it comes, but I don't think we're we're not gonna hype it up. There's nothing really to hype up on that one. Not too much to hype up on this next pay-per-view
this was my very first point on my notes is that people are saying this might be the worst card of the year.
Might be.
It's one of like the internet thing.
And which
about it. But there's
it's crazy.
I'm looking at
there's some good
fights on it.
There's some good fights on it, so don't get me wrong here. But I'm gonna make a couple little points here. It's crazy to say that Max Holloway and Dustin Poirier on the same card is gonna be boring, and then the fact that they're fighting each other is crazy. In itself. But the fact is that Dustin's already beat Max twice. He's retiring after this fight. So even if he does beat Max a third time, he's going to sell off to the sunset. He does nothing with that win. If Max loses, just fucks up his lightweight trajectory that he hardly had going anyway from beating kind of an over-the-hill Justin Gaethje. Doesn't really do anything for anyone. I don't know. I guess Max gets another BMF title on his shelf if he wins. I don't know. Said Dustin, he wanted a Legends fight to go out on, and he settled with Max Holloway. He probably was wanting another Conor McGregor fight, if I'm honestly, probably wanted to go out on that. But he got Max Holloway again. Guy he's beat decisively. First time they fought, I think he submitted him, and then the second time they fought, Dustin just pieced up Holloway, dude. His face was all swollen up. He looked more. What I remember from that fight, I ain't seen it in years, but what I remember from that fight was like just Dustin hit so much harder. He looked so much thicker. Max was, landing shit and was landing combinations and was backing Dustin up a little bit, but you could tell like the punches just did not have the pop that Dustin Poirier was giving Max Holloway. And you could tell when the fight was over how their faces looked. Just wasn't a competitive fight. They've not had a competitive fight. So the fact that this is the end for Dustin Poirier is a little, anticlimactic, but as fight fans, we'll take it. We'll watch it. Probably going to be a banger. If Max Holloway knocks out Dustin Poirier like he did Justin Gaethje in like the last 10 seconds of his UFC career, that would be fucking insane. I mean, there is a chance. There's a chance that could happen, dude. But I don't see it happening. I really don't. I think we're going to see the classic Dustin Poirier. He's going to fucking just piece him apart. crisp, clean boxing. He's going to swipe his hair 20 times. He's going to lift his shorts up 15 times. And, it's going to be classic Poirier showing, I think. Could be wrong, but I doubt it. And again, so it's crazy that a main fight on the main card of a pay-per-view, like I said, does nothing for this division. It doesn't do anything for either one of these fighters. It's so inconsequential.
There's a lot of fights like that, and like they're.
That's the next point I'm going to make.
Like the way that they've put some fights doesn't make any sense to me.
Okay, so if you go down this,
announced, sorry.
Yeah, they got a 5-fight main card right here, so that they can't put any more.
Well,
I guess you could squeeze one more.
Fights.
Yeah, but go down to early prelims.
I know.
Early prelims
I was looking at it as like, it starts off with fucking Del Magny and Gunnar Nelson.
Which they don't, which is kind of disrespectful.
That's what I'm saying. It starts off with them, which is what.
No. It starts off with it starts off with a woman's fight, Carly Judas and the.
Oh no!
It's on the UFC.
It started with another
website.
Woman's fight called Amanda Ribas versus.
Oh yeah, Amanda Hebos and.
Yeah, that one.
See,
was
those
canceled.
two were known.
That was canceled.
So they may squeeze one more fight on there.
Yeah.
I doubt it because it's only like 2 weeks away.
But the prelim, it's just crazy that the prelims only has 3 fights, and the early prelims it's got fucking 5.
Yeah. But that's not that crazy, I guess. It's about the number of fights on a card.
Yeah.
They've had less fights with pullouts and shit on the day of. One of the okay, so we'll just go from. There's not many fights like you said, so we'll just go top to bottom. One fight to look out for: Jimmy Crutes fighting Marcin Prachnio. That's a good fight. That'll be bangers. Prachnio's coming back on a ass whooping tour. Jimmy Crutes always been a tough son of a bitch with a fucking lunchbox for a head and a mullet on top to cap it off. So
crazy! It's an early
crazy
prelims fight.
Crazy, and then and after that it's Gunnar Nelson and Neil Magny. But
see, on my list, that's the very first fight.
I'm on the official UFC website.
Oh yeah, I'll take your word for it.
Which could be wrong. I mean, they don't give a fuck or take pride in their
This
shit.
is
So
just
anyway,
the fucking UFC.
One of the biggest fights. Okay, so all these. Again, I keep walking in circles here, but all these fights have no consequences. There's no like big upper. There's no top 5 fights that would put someone close to a title shot. None of these motherfuckers are. There's none of these motherfuckers fighting for a title after these fights. The first fight on the main card, Michael Johnson, Zell Huber. They're clearly giving Zell Huber, which Michael Johnson, I will say, he's been on a tear. He's coming back. He's doing the old Unk run and knocking out these young guns. But Zell Huber is he's a motherfucker. He's a Mexican boxer that can kickbox pretty much. So he kicks you. He's probably see a knockout in that fight if I had to guess. If I'm going prediction of knockouts. Next up, Paulo Costa, Roman Kopylov. Who cares? I mean, 13 and 14. Again, neither of these guys fighting for a title. There's no real implications on this. Just one gap in between the rankings. So, whoop-de-doo, we got them switching spots,
Paulo Costa fight. That's the only thing I care about it. I like Paulo Costa.
Do what?
I like Paulo Costa. I'm just happy to see him fight.
Yeah, and for God's sakes, we need this motherfucker to get a win. If you're a Paulo Costa fan, what is he, like 0-3?
I'm not sure.
Look it up real quick. But Kopilov's good. I mean, that might be an entertaining fight. That'll be a technical, probably boring fight.
He's 2.
0-2 right now?
Yeah. His last win was Rockhold, 2022.
Was what?
Luke Rockhold in 2022.
Rockhold. Yeah.
And didn't fight in 2023.
He's not very active. He used to be.
Lost to Whitaker and Strickland, so his losses ain't fucking like randos,
No, I mean, he's definitely losing to the top of the spear, but I mean, it's knocked him down. He was like a number 1 contender fighting Izzy,
yeah. Lost.
And so now he's number 13.
Lost the decision to Vittori. Did 1 Rockhold. Lost Whitaker. Lost Strickland.
Yeah. So he's fighting Kopylov, so they're kind of just seeing which one of these dudes wants it more, I guess, and seeing who's gonna fight. See, honestly, like what's crazy is the fight that's headlining the prelims. Vittori and Brendan Allen kind of have more consequences than the fucking fight that's on the main card.
Oh, almost every fight on the main card. There's not. I don't think is there. I don't know who this middleweight fight is. Aptepta versus Robert. Aptepta. You see that fight?
Oh, the Robert Valentine guy?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's up here.
It's main event. So I don't think there's a I don't think there's a fight on the main event that means anything.
No, none of them are
Ige
consequential.
versus Pitbull. I don't know who that middleweight is. So they could be like the winner of this.
Atiba's good. Robert Valentine's good. He was on the couple seasons ago, The Ultimate Fighter. He was on the one that Valentina Shevchenko coached. He made some waves. Was crazy. Didn't win. So I mean, he just is what it is. He's a crazy Viking guy. I've seen him lose. He's still kind of green, I think. So
the other guy he's fighting, the black guy, is 7-1.
Yeah, knockout artist though. I think he just had a good knockout. Look into that real quick. I remember he's like a little Francis Ngannou.
Yeah, he had a first round KO against Jose Medina.
Yeah, knockout artist. So that might be a good fight, honestly.
This is his second fight in the UFC.
Not consequential. So honestly, yeah, the two middleweights bouts on here, between the four of them, they would be lucky to fight the fucking winner of the prelims fight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
second
they would be chomping at the
in
bit
the
to fight one of
UFC
these dudes.
And you're third on the main event.
They got high hopes for him. Like I said, he reminds you of a little Francis. They're trying to book him as the next Francis. From Cameroon, just like Francis. So they're trying to build him as this knockout artist. We'll see. He might do it, dude. Honestly, fucking Robert Valentine. Valentine's a guy who will stand with you, so it's gonna be a stand-up affair. So we'll see how that goes. But co-main event, you got Dan Ige, return of Patricio Pitbull, his second attempt at the UFC.
So that Robert guy that he's fighting is on a 2-fight losing streak in the UFC. He's not won a fight in the UFC.
Yeah, so I'm saying, like, I'm familiar with him losing, so yeah, that was his last fight, and they probably feel bad for him, and usually Mata would have cut him over that second loss, but that Torres guy is kind of fucking boring and kind of was like a bullshit win. So, which it's MMA. If that's your strategy and that's how you win, dude, that's how you win. Don't let anyone tell you. But you're not going to be a fan favorite, and you're not going to get performance of the night bonuses, and you're not going to get the opportunities that the dudes who take chances get. So, I mean, don't come crying to me when you fucking lay and pray ain't working. But, yeah, co-main event, Pitbull and Ige. Again, neither one of those dudes getting close to a title after this fight. So, really just seeing if Patricio Pitbull is the real deal. Dan Ige is the fucking real deal, so this is going to be another real test.
Wasn't Dan Ige's last fight crazy?
Yeah, he fought last minute, too. I think he stepped in and fought like Fiziev or some shit. Look that up real quick. I don't want to say that for sure, but...
No, okay. So that was 3 fights ago, and it's when he stepped in like last second for co-main against Diego Lopez.
Yeah, dude, stepped in on short notice fight Diego Lopez. So Dan Ige is the fucking man.
And he has his last win was Woodson of this year.
Yeah, Sean Woodson. Yeah, and I picked him to win over Woodson, and that was a big told you so moment for me. Yeah, like I said, just really testing Pitbull's. If he still got it, or if he ever had it, I don't know. If he did win, he would break into the top 15. They tried to start him off fighting Yair Rodriguez, which is in like the top 5, so he would have started off in the top 5. Now they're kind of scaling it back a little bit, which Dan Ige is I don't know if that's an easier fight, to be honest. They're about the same size, and Ige might be more skilled, dude, honestly. Just from, watching him, just... Ige's a little tougher. He's a little quicker. Pitbull may be stronger, but I don't do Ige's fucking... Dude, I mean, I think he's going to be just fine.
Yeah.
To be honest. So, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. That's a pay-per-view. You're paying $87 for really nothing that moves the needle. Nothing that consequential. If this Zell Huber kid can make a big splash with Johnson, they'll give him something big coming up. Like I said, the 4 middleweight fighters on this card, they would be lucky to fight the fucking prelim winner between Vettori and Allen. And the trilogy under Poirier and Holloway, which we'll just see how it goes. I think that's one that, like, we kind of feel like we know how it's going to go, but either way will be cool. Like, everybody loves Holloway, everybody loves Poirier, so it'll be a good ending no matter what. Poirier sells off to the sunset.
BMF fight?
It is for the BMF title. That's the only way they got away with it being the fucking main event. So, is what it is. Anyway, I guess we'll wrap up there. It's been a full show. Good one. I had some fucking technical problems that I'll have to attend to and fix because that was annoying as shit listening to you talk and crackle in and out. I could not hear you. So
that's crazy because I was having technical problems before we started and I didn't have any while we were doing it. So for you to have them.
Yeah, his mic was fucking up, and honestly, I was hoping while you were talking that it was not your mic, but I could tell it was my headphones. So anyway, we're pulling the curtain back too much and showing fucking how sausage is made. It's not that interesting, but we will get these problems fixed, and we do appreciate you listening. If you listen this far, we do appreciate it. Want to give a shout out to our man Devin. Go Dev, we heard you were listening. We appreciate it, my friend. And with that, Picogram fam, we appreciate it. We're out. Holla at us next week.